Vitamin A plays a crucial role in maintaining normal vision, supporting a healthy immune system, facilitating reproduction and promoting optimal growth and development. While vitamin A is essential for various bodily functions, excessive consumption of vitamin A can have adverse effects, something 48-year-old Basil Brown wished he had known sooner. Basil Brown, a scientist by profession, had embarked on a rather extraordinary dietary regime. Over the course of just 10 days, he had ingested a staggering 70 million units of vitamin A, but that wasn't the whole story. In addition to his vitamin A indulgence, Basil had taken to consuming an astonishing gallon of carrot juice every single day during that same period. This extraordinary diet gave his skin an outwardly hue of bright yellow that seemed to defy nature itself. Dr. David Haler, the esteemed pathologist tasked with examining Basil's remains, took a stand and shared his findings with the hushed courtroom. He revealed that the consequences of Basil's extraordinary intake of vitamin A, both from carrots and tablets, were nothing short of astonishing. In a surprising twist, it bore a striking resemblance to the ravages of alcohol poisoning, leading to the most unexpected conclusion: cirrhosis of the liver. The townsfolk were left in disbelief, contemplating the irony that a man so dedicated to his health and the pursuit of nutritious choices could meet such a fate. In the quaint corner of rural Poland, a chilling mystery unfolded on New Year's Eve, one that sent shivers down the spines of all who heard it. It was a tale of a missing man, a Polish pig farmer named Mr. Christoph. Known only by his first name, who had tended to his farm for 7 decades. The old farmer, said to be in his 70s, had vanished without a trace, leaving his small community in deep concern. As the days turned into weeks, whispers of worry swept through the southwestern town of Lubin. Neighbours and friends exchanged anxious glances, hoping for a glimmer of hope. Then, on one fateful day, a neighbour ventured near Mr. Christoph's property. What they discovered was the stuff of nightmares. Amongst the airy silence, they stumbled upon bones across the farm, and they knew something was dreadfully amiss. Alarmed and horrified by their gruesome discovery, the neighbour immediately alerted the authorities. The police swiftly descended upon the farm, their footsteps heavy with anticipation, but what they encountered was beyond their darkest nightmares. The once lively farm where Mr. Christoph had raised his pigs was now airy and grim. His body, they found, had not merely gone missing, it had been devoured by his own animals. Only a few fragments of skull and bone remained, a grim testament to the unfathomable horror that had unfolded. As the investigation unfolded, a bone-chilling theory emerged. Mr. Christoph might have succumbed to a heart attack in the shadows of that fateful New Year's Eve. In his final moments, his loyal livestock, unaware of the tragedy that had befallen their caretaker, had turned him into a source of food. The town's district prosecutor tried to make sense of all of this. "We do not know the exact date," she stated, "but in the period between the 31st of December and the 8th of January, the victim was eaten by pigs." The tale of Mr. Christoph's bizarre and chilling fate spread like wildfire through Lubin. In a small town in Bishopstoke, Hampshire, UK, a harrowing tale revealed a man's tragic descent into despair. David File, a 50-year-old man with a troubled past, had been grappling with overwhelming despair, rooted in his determination to remain in his repossessed home. His elderly parents, John and Jean File, grew increasingly concerned as their efforts to reach their son yielded no response. This is the home where David had resisted to leave, and his resolve would take a haunting turn. The distressing alarm was raised, and the police were summoned to investigate. Sergeant Mark Carter, tasked with confronting the unthinkable, discovered David File's lifeless body in the lounge. David carefully tied a Black & Decker tool to one of the snooker legs in his living room. He used a piece of string to hold it in place and made sure the power button stayed pressed using tape. Then he connected it to a timer, a device usually used to control when lights turn on and off. He then lay down on the floor beneath the snooker table with his face looking up. He positioned a dangerous chainsaw against his neck with a piece of cardboard as a makeshift buffer. This timer, usually used for simple tasks like controlling lights, had a new and sinister purpose. It was set to activate the chainsaw, making it run for a painful 15 minutes. When the timer kicked in, the chainsaw roared to life. Its sharp blade started cutting through his neck and went almost all the way through. Reaching to his right shoulder, it only stopped when it snagged his t-shirt, preventing a complete severing. The grim puzzle unravelled further during the inquest. David File's flat was situated in a block scheduled for demolition, a fact that had weighed heavily on his mind. Despite the persistent efforts of his housing association, he had rejected 11 offers of alternative accommodation. The matter had even reached the courts, leading to the repossession of his property. At the time of his tragic demise, David File, a man who had battled mental illness and attempted suicide previously, was the sole occupant of his 1960s block, surrounded by boarded up properties. The lonely and desolate setting seemed to reflect the darkness within his own soul.